Hello, and welcome back to Quick to Recap. Today, we're diving into the 2014 action thriller Falcon Rising. The story kicks off with John Falcon Chapman, a former special ops officer haunted by the loss of his brothers in arms. His PTSD has driven him to the edge, so far that he loads his gun, ready to end it all. But when he pulls the trigger, fate steps in, and the attempt fails. Later that night, still drowning in misery, John stops by a small grocery store for some booze. Two armed robbers burst in, waving guns and demanding cash. John barely reacts. He even taunts one of them to shoot him in the head. The thief freezes. And that's when John springs into action, disarming him, knocking him down, and taking on the second attacker with brutal efficiency. He returns the stolen money to the shopkeeper, grabs his alcohol, and heads home to drink away the pain. The next day, John's sister Cindy visits. She's worried. He's off his meds, and his depression is spiraling. She tells him she's heading to Brazil to work for a humanitarian group helping people in the favelas. The following morning, she leaves while John's still asleep. In Rio de Janeiro, Brazilian officer Catarina responds to a report of a woman found badly injured on the beach. It's Cindy. She's rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Officers Tiago and Carlo inform the U.S. ambassador Manny, who quickly calls John and urges him to come to Brazil to join the investigation. John flies out immediately, desperate for answers. In the meantime, Catarina clashes with her fellow officer Tiago, who doesn't take her seriously. Tiago's investigation leads to a tense standoff with a local gang, which is resolved when his partner Carlo wins a one-on-one fight against the gang's top fighter, securing their right to question people in the neighborhood. When John finally arrives, Manny drives him straight to the hospital. Seeing Cindy in a coma fuels his rage. He meets Tiago, pressing him for leads, but Tiago offers few answers. Determined to see the crime scene himself, John rides with him into the dangerous streets, where he notices the area is swarming with prostitutes and criminals. And that's where the real hunt begins. John finally meets Catarina in person, but their introduction is tense. When he hears a sudden loud noise, John instinctively grabs her revolver, thinking it's gunfire, only to realize it was just a car pulling away. Unfortunately, neighborhood gang members spot him holding the weapon and immediately draw their own. Tiago steps in to calm the situation before it turns bloody. John, exhausted from travel, apologizes. Catarina drives him to the crime scene, but it's clear the area is under gang control. Finding a willing witness will be nearly impossible. Later at the hospital, John notices an Asian nurse injecting something into Cindy's IV. Moments later, Cindy suffers violent convulsions. John rushes out to find the nurse, but instead sees a completely different one. The doctor reveals Cindy was injected with an unknown chemical, and there's no record of any Asian nurse working there. When Manny and Tiago arrive, Tiago orders guards to protect her. The next day, John returns to the accident site and spots a group of young men. He approaches one named Coca, but Coca bolts. After catching him, John shows him Cindy's photo and notices Coca is wearing her necklace. Coca denies knowing her, so John punches him, only to be jumped by Coca's friends. The fight ends when Catarina arrives, urging John to let it go. She later explains that Cindy had given Coca the necklace, and that his own sister, who once worked with Cindy, has gone missing. Coca offers to help, bringing John and Catarina to his home, where he gives John Cindy's diary. John apologizes again and tells Coca to keep the necklace. Catarina reveals that many girls from the area have recently vanished. While checking their car for a bomb, John spots the same Asian woman from the hospital watching them. Later, in a pub, John reads Cindy's diary and notices a page was torn out. Using carbon impressions left behind, he recovers a phone number belonging to Bruno, a photographer. When they meet, Bruno explains Cindy had hired him to secretly film a meeting with someone linked to the missing girls. He refuses to hand over the footage, fearing for his life, so John quietly lifts the flash drive from his pocket. Moments later, Bruno's car explodes. Seeing the Asian woman nearby, John realizes she killed him. He chases her, but she escapes. Before he can regroup, a carload of gunmen opens fire. John grabs a revolver from a fallen guard and returns fire, forcing them to flee. He then heads to the embassy, where Manny shows him a photo of the man Cindy met before her attack. Reflected in a car window is the name of a nightclub. At the club, John spots the man, Lima, heading into the bathroom with a bag. A security guard tries to block him, but John knocks him aside. Confronting Lima, John demands answers about Cindy. At first, Lima denies everything, but after some painful persuasion, he admits Cindy came to meet him about his smuggling operation. She didn't realize one of the clients was watching, and that man was the one who attacked her. John forces Lima to give up the attacker's address, warning him what will happen if he lied. Meanwhile, Tiago assembles his officers to launch a coordinated crackdown on gangs, drug dealers, and prostitution rings. Manny follows John to the location Lima named, both men determined to uncover who ordered Cindy's murder attempt. As the police raids begin, the final pieces of the puzzle start falling into place. John arrives at the location where he hopes to finally uncover the person behind his sister's attack. As he enters, a young woman greets him, but from above, the familiar Asian assassin watches his every move. Recognizing him, she warns her superior, Chief Hiramoto, not to be disturbed with this problem, suggesting they remove John quietly. One of Hiramoto's men escorts John to a balcony, where he spots girls being delivered, including Maria, Coca's missing sister. Suddenly, someone tries to strangle him from behind, but John fights back, using a heavy bag as a weapon. Slipping away, he sneaks deeper into the building, finding the area where the kidnapped girls are being kept. Meanwhile, Tiago's police raids on drug gangs continue. During a chase, one officer stumbles upon a car carrying kidnapped girls. He kills one captor and arrests the other. An Asian man then calls Tiago for backup, but when Tiago arrives, he shockingly turns his gun on the prisoner and kills the cop who found him. It's revealed that Tiago is a traitor, using the raid to protect the gangs. He calls the Asian assassin, confirming he's eliminated all agreed targets. She promises his payment will be waiting at the docks. She also informs Hiramoto that John is inside the building and may have their forged smuggling documents. Hiramoto orders her to hide the girls, clear the guests, and head to the hospital to finish Cindy off. He also discovers Lima has lost the incriminating documents, so he kills Lima on the spot. John is soon surrounded, forced into a brutal fight. The gangster Diablo steps in, ordering him to surrender. Katarina arrives, and John tells her Hiramoto is the one who tried to kill Cindy, and that the kidnapped girls are inside. But when they reach the warehouse, the girls are gone, already moved per Hiramoto's orders. John shows Tiago forged shipping manifests, proving Hiramoto is smuggling girls out of the country. Pretending to be grateful, Tiago takes the documents and tells John he'll handle the investigation. But John grows suspicious when Tiago asks about Lima's bag, something John never mentioned. Realizing Tiago's betrayal, John sends Katarina to the hospital to protect Cindy. At the hospital, the Asian assassin makes her move to kill Cindy, but Katarina arrives just in time, shooting her dead. Meanwhile, Tiago heads to the docks to collect his payoff. Hiding in the trunk of Tiago's car, John discovers the gang is shipping the kidnapped girls in containers bound for Japan. He calls Manny for backup, warning that Tiago is working with Hiramoto. When Hiramoto learns John is there, he unleashes all his men and joins the hunt himself. The chaos boils down to a final showdown, John versus Hiramoto, sword against fists. After a vicious fight, John emerges victorious. He then confronts a dying Tiago, who hands over a key to a safe at the train station containing the names of Hiramoto's entire network. Tiago admits he worked for Hiramoto to lift his family out of poverty and begs John to kill him. John refuses, leaving him a gun with one bullet. As John walks away, a single shot rings out. Police swarm the station, freeing all the kidnapped girls, including Maria. The next day, John visits Cindy, whose condition is improving, though the doctor warns her recovery will take time. Later, Manny offers John an unofficial position with the government and the promise that Cindy's medical expenses will be covered. At first, John refuses, but then accepts, taking the first file for his next mission. From the streets of Rio to the dark corners of corruption, Falcon's fight isn't just for justice, it's for family. And in his world, the war never truly ends. If you enjoyed this recap, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next mission.